Hello, class 9th. So, last time we studied about mitochondria, acids, and then we studied about vacuoles and as well as cell wall. Okay? So, first of all, we will revise all these topics. First of all, we will revise all these topics. Okay? Then we will study some new topic like plasma membrane, diffusion, osmosis. These kind of topic we will study. Okay. So first is mitochondria. Yes, mitochondria. It is known as powerhouse. Yes, mitochondria is known as powerhouse because it helps in the production of ATP. Yes. What does mitochondria produce? Mitochondria produce ATP. Yes, ATP is produced by mitochondria. And ATP means adenosine triphosphate. Yes, kids, remember what is the full form of ATP? Adenosine triphosphate. I have already explained. Yes, I have already explained ATP, adenosine triphosphate. Next. Mitochondria have two membrane. Mitochondria have two membrane covering in which outer membrane is porous in nature while the inner membrane is deeply folded. Yes. So remember kids, mitochondria is double membrane organelle. Okay. Mitochondria is a double membrane organelle and its outer covering is actually porous in nature and while the inner membrane is deeply folded. Okay, and it is double membrane structure, outer membrane porous and inner membrane deeply folded. Why? To create a large surface area. Yes, for ATP generation, chemical reaction. Okay kids, I hope that you understood. If you have not attended previous class, then please write down now. Okay, mitochondria. So, it is known as the powerhouse of the cell. Yes, it helps in the production of ATP. Mitochondria is a double membrane organelle. Outer membrane is porous in nature. Inner membrane is deeply folded. Double membrane structure. Yes. Now, let's move on the next part. Okay, ATP. Because in previous class I have already explained, but now we are revising again because it is very essential to revise. Yes, it is very essential. It is very important to revise. ATP means adenosine triphosphate. Yes, ATP means adenosine triphosphate. ADENOSINE, adenosine triphosphate, PHOSPHATE. Okay, adenosine triphosphate. So ATP in the energy currency of the cell, it is used for some purpose. Yes. So which are the purpose of ATP? Because we know that mitochondria, we already know that mitochondria is a powerhouse and powerhouse of the cell as it helps in the production of ATP. Yes, mitochondria helps in the production of ATP, adenosine triphosphate. Okay, I will again show you today the picture of mitochondria. I will not show you the picture of plastid because I think it's very easy. But you need to understand the structure of mitochondria, so I will show you again the same picture. Okay. So mitochondria, it produce ATP and ATP is used for ranking new chemical compound. Yes. Remember kids, ATP is used for ranking new chemical compounds. ATP is used for ranking new chemical compounds, and it is also used for mechanical work. Yes, to work. Remember, to work. Work number 1, ranking new chemical compound. Work number 2 for mechanical work. Okay, mechanical work and ranking new chemical compound. Now, let's see the structure of mitochondria. Let's move on the next point. Okay, mitochondria. See the structure. Look the picture. First, brown. Can you see the brown color? Outer color. Outer color is brown of mitochondria. Can you see? Yes. So it is an outer membrane because it is double membrane bound organelle, and inner membrane you can see like coffee color, little bit shining. Yes, white brown, mixing of white brown. Can you see the inner membrane in white brown color? Not too much. It is light white brown, and outer membrane is actually dark brown. Okay, and you can see the snake like structure. Yes, it is actually cristae in which matrix is found. It is a snake like structure. Can you see it is actually a cristae in which matrix is found. So this is the powerhouse of the cell. You know powerhouse. What do you know about powerhouse? What do you know about powerhouse? Because powerhouse actually produce electricity. Powerhouse generate energy. Powerhouse generate in the same way. In the same way, mitochondria also generate energy. In the same way, mitochondria also generate energy. Okay, and you know that it helps in the production of ATP, and it is used for ranking new chemical compound for mechanical work. Okay, now let's talk about plastid. Okay, please you will draw this diagram of mitochondria. You will not make any mistake. Now let's move on the next point. Okay, now we will talk about plastid, and then we will see the functions of plastid. Yes, it's very important. But remember, it's plastid is found only in plant. Yes, plastid is found in plant cell only. Okay, present only in plant cell. And for your kind information, let me explain that there are two types of plastid. There are two types of plastids. Okay, chromoplast and leucoplast. Okay, how many type of plastids? Two type, chromoplast and leucoplast. Chromoplast means colored plastids, leucoplast means colorless of white plastid. Yes, remember, chromoplast is colored. Chromoplast is colored present, maybe green, maybe, yes, green. When we say green means we are talking about chloroplast. Leucoplast is colorless. Yes, am I right, kids? Plastid with chlorophyll pigment are called as chloroplast. Okay, so in a chloroplast, chlorophyll pigment is present. In chloroplast, which pigment is present? Chlorophyll. In chloroplast, which pigment is found? Chlorophyll. Because of chlorophyll, plants leaves are green. Because of chlorophyll, plants leaves are green. And it is not necessary. It is not necessary that chloroplast should be in only green color. They can be in green, red, yellow, brown, orange, any color. Okay, depending upon the types of pigment. Yes, what kind of pigment is present? Green pigment, yellow pigment, red pigment. Okay, now let's see the function of plastid. Let's move on the next point. Okay, it's time to study the function. So I said that plastid is found in which cell? Animal cell or plant cell? Yes, plastid is found in plant cell. And there are many functions of plastid. Yes, there are many functions of plastid. There are mainly two types of plastid, chromoplast and leucoplast. Yes. Function, let's talk about the function of chloroplast, because chloroplast contains chlorophyll. Chloroplast contains chlorophyll, which is a pigment. So first of all, chloroplast are known as kitchen of the cell. Chloroplasts are known as the kitchen of the cell. Yes. It helps in the synthesis of food by the process of photosynthesis. Yes, kids. Remember about chlorophyll. Remember about chlorophyll. Point number 1. Chloroplast is known as kitchen of the cell. Why do we call it kitchen of the cell? Because it helps in the prepare of food by photosynthesis. Yes, you know photosynthesis. I am not going to explain you about photosynthesis. Lactoplast, if we talk about lactoplast, then stored materials such as starch, oil and protein. Yes, kids, remember. What is the function of lactoplast? Lactoplast store these kind of material. Yes. Which materials are stored by lactoplast? Starch, oil, protein. Yes, starch, oil, protein. Okay. Now let's talk about chromoplast. Let's talk about chromoplast. Chromoplast impart colors to flower which helps in pollination. Yes. Chromoplast impart colors. Yes, chromoplast impart colors to flower. Chromoplast impart colors to flower which helps in pollination. Yes. Which helps in pollination. Understood? Now let's talk about vacuoles. Let's move on the next point. Okay, vacuoles. So, what is the vacuole? Vacuole is like a sac. It may be big in size, large in size, or small, or maybe absent in a animal cell. Okay. So storage sac for solid and liquid material. What is the function of vacuole? It is used to store solid or liquid material. Vacuoles are used to store liquid or solid material. Yes. Next point. Vacuoles are large and numerous in plant cell. Yes. They are large in plant cell. Yes. They are very big in size in plant cell. Yes. Whenever we are talking about plant cell, then remember plant cell. In plant cell, vacuole are very big in size. But when we are talking about animal cell, then the size of vacuole are very small. The size of vacuoles are very small in size. Yes, vacuoles are small or absent. Yes, vacuoles are either small or absent. Okay. So it is like a sac, storage sac. Okay, vacuoles are like storage sac for solid or liquid material. Vacuoles are large and numerous in plant cell. They are small or absent in animal cell. That's why in animal cell nucleus is at the center, but in plant cell it is not at the center. Okay. Now let's talk about cell wall. Let's move on the next point. Okay, now let's study about cell wall. Yes, as the name is explaining everything, wall of the cell. Cell wall, wall of the cell. What is cell wall? Cell wall is a outer covering. Yes, a rigid outer covering, rigid, strong. Okay, and A rigid outer covering outside plasma membrane is called cell wall. Yes. Where is it found? It is found outside the plasma membrane. Yes. It is found outside the plasma membrane. And remember kids, cell wall is absent in animal cell. Yes. Cell wall is not found in animal cell. But cell wall is found in mainly in fungi, fungus, you can say fungi, okay, bacteria and plant. Yes, it is found in fungi, or you can say fungi, bacteria, plant cell, okay. And kids, cell wall is actually made up of cellulose. Yes, cell wall is made up of cellulose. Cellulose is actually an undigested form of carbohydrate. Okay. So remember, cell wall is a rigid outer covering. Outside plasma membrane is called cell wall. It is found mainly in fungi, bacteria, plant cell. It is found mainly. Okay. And in plant cell, wall is made up of cellulose. I hope that you understood. Now let's move on the next point. Okay, next topic is plasma membrane. Okay, so now we will talk about plasma membrane and dendritosis. We will study about dendritosis and plasma membrane. Okay, this is the new topic. So plasma membrane is the outermost covering. Yes, remember kids, it is the outermost covering. Yes, outer covering of the cell that separate the cell from external environment. Yes, outer plasma membrane is the outermost covering of the cell that separate the cell from external environment. Yes, it separates the cell from external environment. It is a semi-permeable membrane. Yes, plasma membrane is a semi-permeable membrane. Semi means half, permeable means some material it can allow in. Yes, it allows the material to move in and move out. Okay, it is flexible and is made up of liquids and protein microscope. Yes, remember kids, it is made up of protein and liquids. Okay, some kind of liquid. Okay, it flexibility helps the cell to engulf in food. Yes, because of its flexibility, it engulf food means it allows the material in and other material from its external environment. Okay, this process is called dendritosis. Okay, for example, amoeba. Now please write down. I am giving you 10 seconds. Okay, it's now let me show you the diagram of plasma membrane. Let's move on the next one. Okay, this is the picture of plasma membrane. This is the picture of plasma membrane. Yes. So, as I already explained you about plasma membrane, that plasma membrane is the outermost covering of the cell that separate the cell from external environment, and it is semi-permeable membrane. And it's flexible and is made up of liquids and protein microscope. And the flexibility helps the cell engulfs in food and other material from its external environment. This process is called as dendritosis. Example, amoeba. So as you can see the picture, different parts, you can see the protein, okay, protein, and you can see orange color, it is actually a protein. Can you see the yellow ball? Yes, this is actually hydrophilic region, and the center area, middle area is actually hydrophobic region, okay. And you can see the yellow color ball is actually phospholipid. These are the parts of plasma membrane, okay. Trans protein membrane is actually a transmembrane protein, okay. You can see the blue color structure, which is actually a glycoprotein. So there are different parts of plasma membrane: glycoprotein, integral protein, transmembrane protein, hydrophobic region, phospholipid. So there are different parts, okay. I hope that you understood. Now let's go on the next point. Okay kids, now let's talk about diffusion, okay. Let's talk about diffusion. So what is diffusion? Diffusion is the movement of substance from a region of high concentration to the region of low concentration, or it's known as diffusion. So what do you mean by diffusion? Movement, motion from high concentration to low concentration, okay. So the movement of any material from high concentration to low concentration, and it's called diffusion. It plays an important role in gaseous exchange between cell as well as the cell and its external environment. Yes kids, remember, it play a very important role. Yes, diffusion play very important role. What kind of role? In exchanging gas. Yes, diffusion play important role in exchanging gas as well as the cell and its external environment, okay. When the level of oxygen inside a cell decrease, oxygen from the external environment of the cell enters by the process of diffusion. When the level of carbon dioxide in cell increase, then it released out, okay, it goes out. So when the level of oxygen inside a cell increases, when the level of oxygen inside a cell decreases, when the level of oxygen inside the cell is decreases, then oxygen from external environment of the cell enter, and when the oxygen of inside the cell increases, then it does not enter, okay. Where if carbon dioxide increasing, then it escape out, okay. This is the meaning. I hope you understood. Now let me show you the picture, okay. Let's move on the next point. Okay, see the picture of diffusion. Yes, this is the picture of diffusion. You can see the particle are moving, the substance are moving, as you can see. Can you see the substance in green color? Yes, there are many substance green color. That area is actually high concentrated area, and they are moving towards the low concentrated area. Yes, they are moving from high concentrated area to low concentrated area. Yes, the green ball starting moving, green ball are moving, okay. So we can say the movement of substances from a region of high concentration to a region of low concentration is called diffusion. It plays important role in gaseous exchange between cell as well as the cell and its external environment, okay. When the level of oxygen inside the cell is decreased, oxygen of the external environment of the cell enter by the process of diffusion. So you can see the green ball are actually solute, you can say, okay. Solute are moving. Solute transport is from the left to right. Yes, you can see the green ball which are transferring, they are transferring from left to right. Movement of the solutes is due to the concentration gradient. Yes, Their movement, you can see, it is due to concentration gradient. Yes, the movement is due to concentration gradient. And for concentration gradient, we use dc by dx. For concentration gradient, we use dc by dx. So this is a diffusion. Please write down. You no need to write about the solute. If you want to write, you can write about solute, but draw the diagram. You will have to draw the diagram. So please draw the diagram. Okay, it's now we will study about osmosis. Let's move on the next point. Okay, osmosis. It's time to talk about osmosis. So, osmosis is the passage of water. Yeah, it is the path of water from a region of high water concentration to the region of low water concentration. It means you can imagine that osmosis is a pipe. Imagine what is osmosis? Osmosis is a pipe. And water is collected in a region. The name of region is high concentration region. It is going to low concentration region through the pipe. So the name of pipe is osmosis. So we can say osmosis is the passage of the water from a region of high water concentration to a region of low water concentration through a semi-permeable membrane. Yes, through a semi-permeable membrane. It means plasma membrane. Through plasma membrane it happens. Okay, transportation occurs of water. A membrane which permits the entry and exit of some material in the cell is called semi-permeable. Yes, you can see the definition of semi-permeable membrane. A membrane which permits the entry and exit of some material. Yes. So remember, kids, semi-permeable membrane allow. Semi-permeable membrane actually it permits, it gives permission the entry and exit of some material and the cell called semi-permeable membrane. It also prevent movement of some material. Yes, it also prevent the movement of some material. Please write down, I am giving you few seconds. Okay, I hope that you understood about osmosis, that osmosis is the passage of water from a region of high water concentration to region of low water concentration and through a semi-permeable membrane, a permeable membrane which permits an entry and exit of some material in the cell called semi-permeable membrane. It also prevents movement of some material. Now let's study something more about osmosis. Let's go on the next point. Okay, let's continue the topic. If a cell is placed in a medium which has high water concentration and a lower solute concentration, that is the outside solution is dilute, cell will again water by osmosis and swell up. Yes, remember, if a cell is placed inside a medium, yes, what kind of medium? High water concentration medium and with low solute concentration. Then what will happen? Outside solution is dilute. Then cell will again water by osmosis and swell up. Such a solution is called hypotonic solution. Yes. So what is hypotonic solution? What do you mean by hypotonic solution? If a cell is placed in a medium which has higher water concentration and lower solute, and lower solute concentration, that is the outside solution is dilute, cell will again water by osmosis and swell up. So this solution is called hypotonic solution. Okay. If a cell is placed in a medium, then what will happen? If a cell is placed in a medium, what kind of medium? Has lower water concentration. Okay. If a cell is placed in a medium which has lower water concentration, then cell shape means hypotonic then the cell will again water. This is called osmosis. Yes. If what is the meaning of osmosis? If a cell is placed in a medium, if a cell is placed in a medium which has lower water concentration, then cell shape means hytonic. The cell shape, then the cell will again water. This is called osmosis. Please write down. I am giving you 10 seconds. Okay, now let's move on. Last point. Okay, kids. Question number 1. As you can see on the screen, write a short note on plasma membrane. Write a short note on plasma. So remember, kids, plasma membrane. Plasma membrane is the outermost covering of the cell. Yes, plasma membrane is the outermost covering of the cell. Okay, that separate the cell from external environment. Yes, plasma membrane separate the cell from external environment. It is a semi-permeable membrane. Yes, plasma membrane is a semi-permeable membrane, means it allows the material to move in out. Okay, get in or get out. It is a flexible and made up of liquid and protein, and its flexibility helps the cell engulf the food and other material from its external environment. This process is called endostosis. Example, amoeba. Okay. Next question. Write a short note on diffusion and osmosis. Question number 2. Write a short note on diffusion and osmosis. So what is diffusion? The movement of substances from higher region concentration, high concentration, region of high concentration to region of low concentration is called diffusion. So what is diffusion? The movement of substances from a region high concentration to region of low concentration. Okay, here is written 2. It is not 2 beta, it is low. Okay, it plays an important role in gaseous exchange between cell as well as the cell and its external environment. When the level of oxygen inside a cell decrease oxygen from the external environment, then the cell enters by the process of diffusion. And if I talk about osmosis, then osmosis is the passage of water from a region of high water concentration to a region of low water concentration through a semi-permeable membrane, and a membrane which permits the cell is called semi-permeable membrane. It also prevents the movement of same material. Okay, now we will meet in next class. Till then, bye bye.